Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Albert Crow. I am an HVAC SVA at New York City College of Technology. Okay, what I'm presenting to you today is how to perform an air conditioning maintenance on your system. In a system, there's two parts of the air conditioning. There's the air handler, which is this thing you see behind me, and then there's the condenser, which we're going to get to a little bit later. At the air handler, there are certain things that you have to check for when you're doing a maintenance. First thing you usually check for is to look at the filter. Okay, the filter is located down here. You pull the filter out. You take a nice little look at the filter. It's pretty bad. Okay, that's dirty. Usually, if it's clean, you won't see any of that dust or muck or anything like that. In a situation like this is a washable filter. Throw some water on it. Go outside with the garden hose, wash it down, and then you put it back. Since this is in a classroom, and I'm not really doing the maintenance on the system, we're not going to do that today. So I'm going to put it back just like this. Alright? Okay. So after you wash the filter, and you put it back, if it ever goes in, okay, there we go. Then you would blow out the drain lines. Okay? Condensation comes from the coil. And you have to make sure that that water goes somewhere and doesn't mess up your house. So what you would do is, this is called the gallows gun. Inside a gallows gun, we have a cartridge that is filled with nitrogen. And this nitrogen allows for the technician to blow out the lines and make sure that water is draining properly. So you take the gallows gun, you find a nice little hole on the drain line, and then you'll go right ahead and blow it out. Okay, so we blow out the drain lines. You can come take a little closer look at what the drain line looks like. Okay, all right. So that's what the drain line looks like. The next step, you open the panels because we want to see what your air conditioning looks like inside of the unit. Take a 5/16 nut driver, okay, and you take off all these nuts. All right, take them out. Take them out. All right. Now, the panel comes right off. And this is what the inside of an air handler looks like. If you can get a nice little visual, okay? This is the fan. We look to see if the fan is caked up with any dust or anything of that nature. But the fan is clean on the system. And we look at the coil. Coil looks good. Coil is very clean. If the coil was dirty, we would have to clean the coil. You don't want that dust getting inside of your ducts. People get sick. All right? Look at the electrical, quick glimpse. Everything looks okay. You don't see any anything burnt out or anything of that nature. All right? So everything is good up here. You take this panel and you put it back. All right? Put all the screws back. You don't want anything getting loose. You don't want the customers complaining about a noise that they might hear. Okay? All right. Now, the next part is to take these gauges that we have here, these R22 gauges, go to the condenser and check the pressures inside the unit. Okay, checking the pressures is very important because we want to make sure that your system is running properly. All right, so we take a walk over here to the thermostat and we turn the system on. The only time you can check pressures and get an accurate reading is when the unit is running. All right, so now we got air conditioning. And we go to the condenser. Remove some of the stuff out the way. All right, now this is what we would call the condenser, okay? This is the part of the air conditioning system that absorbs the hot air inside your home and throws it outside. This is a classroom, so it's a simulation. That's why it's inside this room. But usually this part of the air conditioning system will be outside of the house. Okay? So this is a gauge manifold. The red hose you see here is for your high side. Okay? And the blue hose you see here is for your low side. Make the connections. Okay, the low side. The low side is always the big pipe. Okay, if you notice, this pipe is much bigger than this one. The high side is the small pipe. The high side can be very dangerous if you don't properly put the gauges on. You can burn yourself with the refrigerant. You see what I mean? Usually you're supposed to wear gloves to make sure that you don't harm yourself. Okay? But this is just a demonstration. Now, you come over here and the technician will take a look at the gauges. Take a look. Alright, so the technician will come take a look at the gauges, and on an R22 system what you're looking for is anywhere between 50 to 65 on this side of the gauge. Okay, this is called your back pressure. On the head pressure, you're looking at 200 to 250 on a day like this. It's nice and warm outside, and pressures and temperatures are relevant to each other. Okay, so just by looking at this, I can tell whether someone's air conditioning system is running the way it should or the way that it shouldn't. Okay? And from there, I can make my decision as far as what I want to do. For example, if I was low on refrigerants, then I would add refrigerant. If there was too much refrigerant in the system, then I would let some out. Okay? Now, basically, the next part of this maintenance is to just come around and take a look at this coil. Now, this coil has to be clean. The purpose of this condenser is that it sucks air in and throws it out through the top. It's sucking air in to cool off the refrigerant so that when it goes in your house again, it can absorb more heat. Now, if this is dirty, then no air can be sucked through the system. So we have to make sure that this is clean. We take a visual inspection, we look at it. Okay, usually what I would do is take a nice screwdriver and pry it apart, but I can use my fingernail as well. Alright? Now when I pry this apart with my fingernail, I can see that there's no dirt between the coil. Okay, if you want to come take a closer look, alright, you look right there, you don't see any dirt. So it's very clean on the inside. Alright? Now that is basically what an air conditioning maintenance is made of.